programmer art and starting to make the game really feel nice. And I think that we'll progress on that as much as we can. Why is there no loot in here? There's usually a lot in here.
It's an interesting question. Someone asked a moment ago. So when you're running around in there, obviously your footsteps are quite loud, and you've spoken to me previously saying different footwear has different durability, and footwear wears down as you run around, and it can get low enough that your footwear is destroyed and so on. Will different footwear have a different audible sound for your footsteps? So, for example, you could actually get some kind of military boot that makes less noise or something. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, so, I mean, it is.
Or that sounds client-side at the moment.
It is something that's possible for us to do, but it's a huge amount of work, like a massive amount of work, because then we'd have to do new sounds for everything. So I don't know what we're going to do with that. Whether we'll look at that. It's just such a large amount of work. All the sounds are placeholder at the moment, and there was a lot of internet hate about the sounds after the last video I did. So I actually got Brian to go through and rip out a few sounds to change them for this video. Unfortunately, the volumes are too high. Our audio guy hasn't started work yet, so yeah. Once we get that, it'll really be up to him. Get him to become a bit of an expert on it and say, look, what should we prioritize? What should we change? One thing I want to do is to show something I'm not happy with. When you're crawling slow like this, it should make no noise or very little.
So does that sort of replace the UI we have in DayZ Mod, where there's the ear and the eye and the sort of levels of visibility and audibility?
Yeah, well, we've gone backwards a bit in terms of that, and that's one of the things I'm a little bit disappointed with at the moment. Because we had to optimize the zombies for performance, I don't know, I want to go a little bit back towards where we went with that, where at the moment the terrain doesn't make such a big difference, and I do want to go back with that. One thing that I've been working on, it's not in this build because this is the current Steam build, is instead of doing this really annoying action thing, we actually want to see how I'm pushing the action and I'm like, why is it doing that? So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that action system, very similar to what Dyslexia was saying, and have you do that. So if you've got a crowbar or something, you'll do that, and then it'll open it instead of you having to do the action menu thing. And I think that's going to be really cool, because you'll have to crowbar it open, and it could make a noise and stuff like that.
I think the whole terrain affecting your visibility and sound really was one of the first things that I found made DayZ on Arma 2 very immersive. I was crouch walking along, and all the zombies were meandering about, and then as soon as I put my foot on the concrete, my visibility shot up 2 levels, audio shot up 2 levels, and they all turned on me. And it kind of added that extra level of, wow, I even need to be careful whether I'm in short grass, tall grass, road, open terrain, and so on. So yeah, I think that's a well-loved feature from the stealth elements of classic DayZ.
Yeah, I totally agree, and like I say, I think it's really important for people watching this, and it was what I was saying to you, Chris, was people need to manage their expectations a bit. I am dying as well. And this is what I mean, I should know that I'm dying, and I think my text idea, while a great idea, is a complete failure, really, and I need to do something different. I have not seen this building before. This is a new type of building, and it is awesome. It's cost us
okay, so on the
make, I think, actually.
They're sneaking buildings in without, you know. On the health front then, so in classic DayZ, again, when you start to get to like 10,000 or 9,000 blood, your colour starts to fade to the point that you get into black and white. Are we going to see a similar kind of transition of effects to represent how close you are to dying, screen shaking, audible?
That's exactly what's happening now, is that. So I am desperately running around because it's going to be very embarrassing, and I'll never live it down when I die in my own stream. But this was actually accidental, this whole stream, so people need to...
We're doing it live.
Yeah. Clean it up in post, right?
Yeah, no one will watch this, it's fine.
Poor Bikeman's getting trolled by watching me. I'm sorry, Bikey. I really need to find some water here.
Was that a Kevlar vest I saw like 20 seconds ago?
Yeah, so I've got this is, it provides This is an anti-stab vest, so we have a bunch of different vests that provide different, whether they provide ballistic protection or...
Is the melee differentiated by blunt and pierce?
Absolutely.
Or is it just melee?
And that was probably the most soul-destroying thing with the video, was everyone saying, oh, it's just a pistol. You know, that was like, oh, this is cool, that everybody loves these. But they're much smaller. I really don't want to get that. But these are hunter pants. Oh, I put them in my inventory. I'll take them with me. I'm not going to stop until I find some water now, or I'm going to die. Yeah, everybody will be complaining about the pistol sounds, but it's only sounds. The sounds have nothing to do with the hit detection. I am going to die. This is very sad.
If you do die, is it a respawn at the shore kind of thing, or...?
No, we're all
Are you
respawning
like a
at the
debug?
same position at the moment for debug purposes, but probably on Monday I'll switch to the actual system. I mean, it's... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have any firearms on your character? You know the feature you mentioned to me yesterday on Skype? Is that something you can demonstrate today? Because I think people would be impressed
Which
by that.
feature was that?
The loading around individually?
Oh, yeah. I wish I could find chambering an individual round. If I die, I'm going to start back. I might just... if I die, I might restart the server so that the loot respawns. Okay, this is one of the... There are some buildings that have not been done for enterable, so that's one there. Fair, honest explanation to people, which is probably going to cost me my life.
You also recently tweeted out a picture of the new, what appeared to be new pathing, well, some kind of debug of the new pathing regime for your zombies. Do you want to explain how that's going to affect the way they track players?
Well, I mean, the main thing with it is that it stops zombies from running through building. Yeah, it's that's the main thing, is it's just going to vastly improve that. Right, I need more Pepsi. I'm just going to get some Pepsi from my fridge.
So no more zombie on the other side of a wall punching you in the head through the wall.
Exactly.
And so a few months ago you said how you were actually toying with dropping the whole classic zombie code and literally rewriting it from scratch, and I think I saw you confirm that you'd done something like that.
Oh yeah, it's all
rewritten
engine done. It's all engine done now, which is, I think, is pretty amazing. Very amazing, in fact. I'm very happy with the work we've done with it. There's still so far to go, and I know everybody wants to play the alpha right, but like a lot of things get a lot of hate until we get, like, you still look, we've only got this many players on, and you just imagine what happens if we release it and everyone goes out and buys it and it falls over. We've let those people down, so we have to make sure we work it out. So while we've been doing that, while we've been preparing for the release, we've actually been trying to improve some of the key mechanics, like the zombies and stuff like that, improving the way they path, improving their melee, improving their numbers, all that kind of stuff.
So with the rewrite, with the zombies version 2, if you will, what are we looking at? More realistic kind of tracking of players, higher performance, so potentially more zombies per player, if you will?
Exactly. At the moment, this server is running 1,000 zombies and 15,000 loot items. Now just think about that for the moment. That's a huge amount. What we don't have in is a system that's being worked on at the moment that we trial briefly. It's basically, imagine you've got, let's say, about 20,000 dynamic items in the world. How do you actually manage those dynamic items? Because if you have to know, the only way the computer can assess the state of all those objects is by going through them one at a time and checking them. So that's what's causing us problems on the server end, and what we've been doing is creating different arrays, different groups of the objects to deal with different ones. What is very embarrassing right now is I have to wait until I die.
We've all been there, Dean. Trust me.
So yeah, this is really frustrating.
So what you said there was that this server is running 1,000 zombies. So traditionally, everyone would say, well, a server runs as many zombies as there are people near zombie spawns. To get everyone up to date on how the current architecture runs the zombies, someone turns a server on, loads the map, does it literally chuck in 1,000 zombies across all the cities, and regardless of whether players go there, more or less zombies spawn? Are they
Exactly.
predetermined, or will you see the age-old, you're at the airfield, you scan across, no zombies here, brilliant, there's no one here, you're happy to go?
Yeah, exactly. They all spawn in at the start, and at the moment the respawn mechanic is turned off. But the way it works is, if an area is devoid of people for a certain amount of time, the server will go, right, I'm going to reset. I'm gonna reset the loot. I'm gonna reset the zombies. So it means if you control an area, that's great, but don't expect loot to spawn. That, I guess, brings up another exploiting point, which is the people who server hop. And what happens is, when you join the server, the process of the handshake is very different from a traditional armor, the way the armor works. And this is what we've spent a whole year redoing, is all the way the netcode works and everything like that. And what we're doing is we're passing a queue message from the central server to the game server. So when you join the server, it says you need to wait 30 seconds before you can join the game, or you need to wait no seconds before you join the game. Does that make sense? Or
Yep.
have I completely butchered that? So it allows us, the central server will say, okay, you've moved from another server. The game server might pass you a warning and say, the central server has added 30 seconds to your spawn time because you've hopped through a bunch of servers.
I think conventionally, most server hoppers are generally trying to get higher tier military gear. Do you envision a potential feature whereby the area that you're in determines how much you're punished for server hopping?
Damn.
So if you're literally inside a barracks and you log off, it goes, wait a minute, your coordinates coincide with the location of a barracks, 10 minutes for your respawn. That might make people actually have to leave the airfield and run, 5 or 10 minutes away, then server hop and come back. Because obviously, I'm sure most people that play at the airfield have had countless encounters where you run in the barracks, you're looting, and literally someone will just appear in the barracks because they're just swapping from server to server to just get all the guns.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I think that idea actually could work quite well. It's the kind of thing, though, that we'll probably push out till after the alpha. We're just so much at the moment prioritizing the performance, and things like that. Someone just said they bought Project Zomboid. Good on them. I really wish I'd die.
I like the feature from DayZ where if you have broken legs, you can just click escape and end my life, just forget it.
Actually, I'm really
Yeah.
sad because I had a Mosin bayonet. I don't know if anybody saw this. It was probably difficult to see in the inventory. I am in love with the Mosin at the moment. It was done by a very talented artist. His name's Harry. He's Australian, but I don't hold that against him.
It's not his fault.
And look, one of the most enjoyable parts of this project has been coming up with some really awesome items. Really proud of what a lot of the artists have done with some of these items, and you can put them all in your hands. So the Mosin we just put in a compensator, which is this little device you put on the end to make, and it fires out the gas in a certain way that it reduces the rise of the weapon. There's the bayonet for the Mosin, the traditional bayonet. You can use that in your hands, or you can use it for stabbing people. What else is there?
Oh wow, you can actually hold the bayonet like a knife?
Oh yeah. I wish
Just
I'd
use it
shown
as
that
a
before I
knife, by the
died.
way.
Yeah, okay guys, so the unconsciousness mechanic is all being completely worked on still at the moment. One of the most difficult parts of this design, I was talking about it with the Project Zomboid guys, is multiplayer is very unforgiving. In Project Zomboid, it's single player, so you can time skip, sleeping, and all that kind of stuff. We can't do that with this. I'm probably skipping over topics too fast for the people in the chat. But I guess with to get back to the Mosin, so there's the compensator, there's the bayonet, there's the traditional, it's called a PU scope. People can go Google that. Traditional scope. What else is there? There's a sporting scope, which is a very good high-powered scope for the Mosin. You can put the tripod on either the scope, on either the Mosin or the M4 or any other rail device. The cool thing about the tripod, the bipod, is that you actually right-click on it and animate the bipod legs coming down.
And you told me yesterday that that gives you a benefit, but only if you're prone.
Exactly.
And if you're stood up, there's actually a handling negative. So it's properly balanced.
Well, I would say that it has the ability to be balanced. The balancing in the game at the moment is terrible, as you can see. There's nothing I can do either because I only have one character. If I log off, nothing's going to happen. So it's just going to be a bit of a talk show at the moment. Unless I can get Brian. Maybe I can get Brian to... I don't actually have the server login details.
Is the health drain from lack of food or lack of water exponential? Maybe that would help deal with these kind of issues. If you, for every minute you go on, it doubles the amount of damage per second or damage per tick or whatever, however the server works. So that way, if you're in this kind of scenario, you actually die really quickly after 10 minutes. That might add a little bit of urgency because everyone's had it where you run around and you're thirsty or hungry and you can just run around for 15 minutes. If it actually gets worse, if it exponentially kills you, then towards the end you'll be really desperate.
We've got a huge amount of work to do with it, and I think what we've done with it isn't so good. We've gone for this really complicated system, and I think all good things are simple, really, particularly when it comes to game design. Like, I look at a game like Project Zomboid, it has pain, it has sickness, and it's, what's happening. I don't know what's happening in this, and it's stupid. And so we're changing it. But I mean, that's the purpose of alpha. We tried this way, it didn't work, and we try something else. And I think that's someone's saying restart the game. If I rejoin, I'm just going to be unconscious again.
Turn it on and off again.
That's actually a good point. If you're going to have an unconscious screen, what about the one that you had in DayZ Mod where it's sort of like a glazed over look of what you have of your vision already? So obviously if you're unconscious, your eyes are closed, but have you thought about eventually sort of, I guess, jazzing up the unconscious screen so that it's a bit more interesting?
I don't want to offer any spoilers, but I'm sure you remember from the chat I was talking about, or maybe it was from the DayZ Standalone testing chat actually. I recently finished watching The Sopranos, and I loved the ending for it. I'm not going to offer any spoiler, even though that show's like 10 years old. And that's what I just love this. Like with your death in DayZ, it's just like, bam.
It's just so sudden, right?
Yeah. And I'm kind of in love with that for the moment. We do want to allow you to go back through and look at your previous characters. And I originally had that under the characters button, but it needs a bit of work. I'm going to see if... God, where is Brian? I need him to kill my character.
I'll message him.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Brian. Brian is our producer, and he did ask if I wanted access to the database, but I said no.
Everyone's a big fan of Brian at the moment. He came in my stream the other day and just gave away a few games.
Really?
Like a boss, yeah.
Nice. So do you guys have any other questions while we're waiting for me to die?
How will the Hive architecture work? From day one, full release, not necessarily alpha, do you envision people being able to make their own clusters? Or is it going to be a central server?
Oh, the $1 million question. The short answer is I've been talking a lot with the community development teams for the mods. So these are all the people who are making all the different mods for DayZ and stuff like that, and about what to do, because our most important thing for the initial release is security and stability. And how do we do that and still allow everybody to run a server which can connect to the Hive? So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but whatever we're going to do, I'll start up a discussion on the forums or something about it, and yeah. Oh, I think Tasha's going to wake Brian. Is going to wake Brian up. It's so cruel.
And then he'll wake you up.
Yeah. You know what I could do? I could script, and I could try and script on the server to kill me.
Could you maybe spawn a zombie over you that will kick your head in?
I think I know what to do. I know what to do. Have no fear, people.
So judging by how long you've been unconscious, it seems like the unconscious level of health or blood or whatever the setting is called now is quite far off death.
Yeah, it's
Or
probably
is
a little
just
bit far. I think it's when your blood level gets so low, there's a chance of you falling unconscious and stuff like that. So,
and is it going to have the same random number generation as classic DayZ, where your periods of unconsciousness are random, or is it going to be fixed or indefinite? So in DayZ, when you get hit, sometimes it's a 30-second knockout, sometimes it's like a 3-minute knockout, and it really, in a firefight, you've got your friends needing to blood bag you and everything. It makes it really tense and random.
yeah. Just 1 second. I am going to kill myself.
In game, of course.
Yeah, in game. Yeah, that could get taken way out of context. Okay, session lost. There we go. So sorry everyone, I know this is really annoying and frustrating for people, but that is the way the game goes. And my my blurriness is so bad because I was dying. Bugs! So we'll wait for the server to hop up.
So previously, when I spoke to you, the only weapon you had was the AK. You said you've wiped out all the classic weapons and you're building them from the ground up to make sure they're all balanced and they feel right. So you've said in this stream that you have the Mosin as well, and you mentioned earlier a pistol. How many weapons have you got in there? Are you happy with them, or are they placeholder?
What have we got in? So we're just putting in the 2-barreled shotgun. Can't remember the name of it.
Is the Winchester making a return?
It's hard to find good help. Is that a girl? Being chased by someone, and you guys can't see this yet. I'm being chased by someone, and I'm being
Someone
chased
said
by a
in
lot
your
of people.
chat that when you spawn, they're going to punch you.
Yeah. We're probably overloading the server because everyone's joining at the moment. There's no special time for the poor server to spawn all the items, so it's doing everything all at once.
Wow, the graphics look so good.
Well, I'm not running it on very high settings at the moment.
Are the radios still in?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
you
But I
showed.
haven't set that up yet. To show. If I could try and find one and find a battery, then that would be great. I'll try and find some zombies and let the zombies clean them up.
Oh, so you have to have batteries for electrical items. Do the batteries actually have a charge and they degrade over time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, that's interesting, because one of the things I always found overpowered, your character just flipped a bird. One of the things I found overpowered in DayZ is once you've got night vision goggles, you're basically a powerhouse at night. And I thought it'd be an interesting balance if you had to constantly search for batteries to keep them going, and then in otherwise you'd have to take them off and only turn them on when you're in a firefight. It would add like an interesting survival element.
Exactly. Oh, so you can see here, I had some mistakes with occlusion culling. So see that there, the guy popping in? I was trying to fix poor frame rate when you're looking at cities, and it means that characters disappear at the moment. So I need to fix that. It was reported before. Andra is one of our designers. A nice little bug.
I think that's the first time I've seen a moving female zombie.
Yeah. Oh, gee, I forgot to change that so that that should be fixed. And we've got other different models. I just hadn't turned them on. I think I hit him. If you've got any questions, feel free to fire away.
Yeah, I'm just skimming through the chat to see if anyone's got any particular questions. So what kind of what area of the
this
map
guy
are we
needs
in at the
to
moment?
bandage
Is this
himself.
one of the actual cities, or is this a random?
This is the same place. It's a Vibor. So see, he's taken his shirt off, and he's currently ripping it up to make bandages so that he can bandage himself. I'm going to try and help him.
And you mentioned
It's
earlier
not
when
as
you
good.
only had.
If I can get her in the head, it'll be a lot more damage.
You mentioned earlier in the stream when there's only 1,000 people or so watching that the melee in this isn't the kind of same system as classic DayZ, where it's basically like a zero range bullet. In this, it actually does proper ray tracing of a curve and sees if any players intersect it. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, we've still got a lot of work to do with it, but it's working much better than I'd expected before. This time I'm not going to die of getting hungry, so I'm going to grab all the stuff there that I can find. Oh, she's got gloves. And a knife. I'm not going to hang around that. At least these guys aren't trying to kill me.
Sonos in chat asks if there are any systems that you have planned for the kind of group experience. So at the moment, obviously you've got the whole spawn on the shore, work your way up towards your friends, and it's quite punishing when you die, which is one of the harsher aspects of the survival style games. Do you have any concepts for being able to form a group so that you can see who's a friendly?
Yeah, look, we don't know what to do with that. That's still something that we need to, that we need to work out a great deal, basically. And we've tried to add in the join your friend's Steam game and that kind of stuff, but then how do we deal with that with streamers as well? And as you know, I'm a total streaming noob, so I don't really know how best to support. We've tried to talk about what can be good and what can help. But yeah, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done with that.
But in terms of playing as a squad, some other mods, like for example Wasteland, you have little hexagons over your teammates' heads, so you know that they're your teammates. I always found kind of a charming aspect of squad play in DayZ is that you need to remember who your friends are. Oh, you're the guy with the beard with the Enfield and the backpack, okay, and then you have that little bit of shock when you see someone that's not the person you're expecting. So you've got to, I suppose you have to strike that balance between the kind of raw, survivable, realistic aspect of having to remember who your friends are, compared to the kind of, oh, I keep shooting at my friends, I'd rather have a group feature.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that we're just going to have to deal with more when I guess the alpha comes out. But look, I'm really proud of how, I know the melee is still kind of crappy, but I'm really proud of how it's shaping up. Like, it's actually a lot of fun to walk around. We just need to up the zombies by about a factor of 3, and then it's going to be so fun to just run around and kill zombies and clear places. What I do want to do is, yeah, like Quantum says, teamwork can be dangerous because you end up if you're really swinging your weapons, you'll end up hitting each other. You can use single-handed weapons which don't do these wide sweeping arcs, but if you're swinging your baseball bat around, you can accidentally hit someone. Sorry, did I even answer your question? I'm not sure I did.
No, you did. Do you have any plans on going the kind of, I suppose, mini chivalry route where you have different kind of attacks? So if you are with a group of friends, you can maybe do an overhead attack that doesn't sweep from left to left, left to right, but you might do less damage, for example. So there's a kind of a trade-off there.
Yeah, look, we want to do that, but it all comes down to controls. We've tried to make the controls much more unified and simplified, but DayZ is this really weird mix now of first-person shooter, melee game, all sorts of other stuff. So it's really hard to find the right balance for everything. Yeah, so we need to figure out that first. See, I really like this new addition we've done here. When I drag the shoes over, I'm like, okay, that's the item it's going to change on my character. Just simple little usability stuff that we're doing really helps.
Do you have any general design theories or plans around the new version of the humanity system. I've heard you say all sorts of things about humanity, all the way from maybe the person's face just looks a bit different, or they have a different expression, all the way through to like, wherever they go, there's kind of an aura around them that represents that they're a bandit. I mean, any ideas about where you're going to try and strike the balance on that aspect?
Yeah. So I guess we're the jury's still out with that one. Like, how do we do that? And I think yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is there. I think we just have to wait and see how our players play it, and what we can do with humanity, and how much is an important role is humanity playing. God, I wish I had a weapon to show people some of the mechanics here. Like, this is a small, based on the Magpul style, you can basically pimp out your weapon. So I'm going to empty that. You can see here that I've got the rounds. I can split that into another pile. We've got a little bit of a bug at the moment. You can see sometimes there's a delay when it's actually making the new item, but it's not sending you the feedback. So
I think that's a really important change that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of unless they've been following your every word at all the different conventions and tweets and whatnot. Maybe you want to reiterate it for the stream. The difference between magazines and individual ammo in the standalone in its current build compared to classic DayZ.
And clips, Chris, and clips, because we even have clips as well. And I know that you're very big on the differences. Where's my friend gone?
Magazines and clips, sorry.
Hey, where you at, dude? Hello, friend. I don't know where he is. Someone's bleeding though. That message comes up when you're locally. Oh, here he goes. Hey. Oh, can you show? Do you have any 7.62 ammunition? Zombie to your left. Oh, damn it.
I couldn't hear you over the street. What are you saying?
Get him with the axe. Nice. See how the body's wobbling when I'm doing that? Oh, you'll see this soon. So that's something that's been added to the game. When you basically hit something, there's a... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, damn it. Let's go back to the supermarket, guys. You still there, Chris? Shannon?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, you're hitting the body and it's kind of swaying around.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a very simple... Oh, we actually have... it's called a library called Bullet Physics in. And it's... yeah, so we can actually do ragdoll, but it's very dangerous to do at this point. So we're not going to put it in before the alpha, because, yeah, we don't want to... It's just introduce this whole level of horrendously difficult physics in that we don't want to introduce at this point in time. We just need to make what you see here work with 100 players or 50 players minimum.
I suppose one of the danger of the whole ragdoll thing is you shoot a player, their body ragdolls. If the collision doesn't work correctly and they clip into a wall or something, all of a sudden you can't loot them for whatever reason.
Well, look, those things aren't the things. Hell, God, that gave me a fright. Oh, hey, here he goes. Can you drop the M4 for a minute, and I'll show everyone on the stream how the bullet loading a single round in the chamber works. Oh, I think you can also might have been a little bit of a reveal there. I probably should have told David about that. Is that? I think that's another tester, is it? Where? Who's the person playing? Person saying yes. Oh, it's me. This is me here. I'm yeah, I'm that guy. I just need an M4, guys. If someone could put an M4 on the ground. Thanks, man. First of all, get rid of this. Is a magazine that's busted, so I'm going to take that off. So,
how do they become damaged? Just
oh no, sorry,
not.
not that. I mean, like the actual model's screwed up for some reason.
Oh,
the texture's all. It's a coupled magazine, but. So what I'm going to do, just don't run in front of me, guys, or I'll end up shooting you. So I've got my M4 and I can't fire it here. Now normally I'd have to put a magazine on. I do have a magazine, but if I chamber around, please work. Please work. There we go. I have put a single round up the spout of the M4. And so all the people looking around me go, he doesn't have a magazine on, he's perfectly safe. But nope, he's not.
That's awesome.
And you can see, now I don't have it. We've also fixed up the zeroing system wasn't working. We've got it back in. The UI that you see up there is only placeholder at the moment. Yeah, I'll give you back your M4 now. Does anyone have any scope attachments? Or any attachments at all? Attachments are quite rare at the moment.
So I think when people see features like this...
I'm not sure you recognise what you can see there, Chris.
I'm really delayed from when you talk, so I don't know.
Okay, we'll just get the guys to get some attachments, because I really want to show, like, the attachment system's really cool. Oh, that guy's...
I'm really delayed from when you talk, so I don't know.
Well, there's a Mosin here, so everybody keeps complaining about the Mosin, but there's no ammunition. Let's drop that baby and put the Mosin on. The Mosin is just a beautiful model. Just stunning.
All the models you showed me when you showed me like the saline drip and the pipe bomb and all those kind of things, the attention to detail and how high quality the textures were, but without sacrificing too many polys that would affect performance. I think you guys are really striking an awesome balance between performance and really high quality items in the game.
Yeah, we've put a lot of work into it, and that's why the bar for entry has been so high. And I know a lot of people got peed off. They're like, oh, why don't you put heaps of stuff in and things like that? And it's because we don't want to like overdo things, and we really want to make it good. Like, oh, sorry, underdo things. You know, we want all the items in game to be really, really good.
I remember Resd, you were looking at a bottle of iodine, and you looked at the bottom of the bottle, and it wasn't indented like a real one, and you're like, I'm sending it back. That's the kind of level of detail you're looking for in your game.
Yeah, and I think we've started to really achieve it. Oh, can I have some water? Can I have some water? My guy's like dying again. Nice sunglasses.
On the ground.
I think the more people see the depth of features you're adding, like individual magazines, individual rounds, being able to load one round into a chamber, being able to have a excessive round and only one magazine and having to reload it individually, all these kind of deep features are really going to drive home the fact that you're making the game you originally envisioned. This isn't just the DayZ mod, but moved to a better engine. This is your true vision, because now you have the time and the team to actually make what you wanted to originally.
Exactly. You know, that's the most important thing. Do I still have... where'd the M4 go, guys? Oh, here it goes. Here it goes, thanks. What? I didn't know there were grenades in game. I don't think there should be yet. Oh, where'd the... does someone have the butt plate? The stock, sorry? To I really want to play some CK2.
Well, after you're done. I don't mind staying up late.
So I'm really proud of the inventory system as well. Like you can, all the stuff is 3D items. It's going to look amazing on the Rift.
I think it's come across. It's progressed in leaps and bounds if you think about it. One of the kind of the most awkward things about original DayZ is the UI system, because you were really limited to the Arma 2 engine. And what you've got now, when you can turn items in the inventory to look at them at different angles, when you drag an item, the different colours represent whether or not it can interact with other items, like for example when you disinfect things. I think people will really be able to appreciate how much more intuitive and interesting it's going to be compared to the kind of the current builds at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Previous DayZ.
Oh, this is pretty cool. Now this isn't working 100%, so I need to just caution people that I just broke the internet by saying hello to Reddit and 4chan.
Ooh.
Oh, someone else put a message in, so what it does is it adds your message to it. Looks like I fixed that bug. So that's actually persistent. If I log out, back in, and log back out and back in now, it would make a difference. So I'm going to put that on the ground, and oh wait, did someone ask what did they ask the question in there? Oh no, server's still up. I think it's just going slow, probably because we've got so many people. Started to get a lot of people in. Yeah, so I put it on the ground there. I'm gonna put this back in my inventory. Read the note again. What about the fonts, Rocket? Oh yeah, someone's joking me. So you actually have different coloured pens. So the reason that text is black is because of the different coloured pens. A lot of people think all this stuff is really stupid, but I think there's a lot of depth that's added to the game by doing this kind of thing. See the red dot here? I haven't actually linked this up yet, but it should be linked up with being able to turn it on and off. And you've got to actually have a battery to power things like the red dot.
So that's another item that you might be scrambling through a general store and you find a pack of batteries, or...
Yeah, at the moment we're using AA 9-volt batteries because we want everything to look the same.
Will the player be able to intuitively tell how charged the battery is? Will batteries maybe spawn with varying amounts of charge, or are they all going to be kind of fully charged if they're a fresh spawn?
We haven't changed that stuff yet. Like, you can see everything spawning is pristine at the moment and that kind of stuff, so...
Oh yeah, I noticed on the magazine in your inventory it does say pristine. Are you going to be implementing kind of a chance for a magazine to jam if it's in low quality, or is it just a flat out it works until it breaks?
At the moment we haven't finished that mechanic. That's the thing. Like, this is so unfinished.
So it's more you're building the framework to be able to introduce all these balances as you and the community find them.
I don't want to be shooting these people in the face, so I'm going to put this on my back. Whoop. Nice glasses. But notice how, see again, this is a problem. We just introduced gloves, but it's made her arms turn white, so it's a bit of a problem. So we have like perishable food and stuff like that. I'm going to put this in here.
I think previously you explained that you get different types of food that affect your character in different ways. So if you eat in an unhealthy fashion, you actually end up with lower energy, you can't run as far, you're more prone to certain sicknesses. Is that something you want to touch on?
Yeah. I'm just going to tell these guys. 1 second. Hey guys, let's go find some more attachments so I can demo off the attachments a bit. You guys lead the way so that I can talk while we're doing this stuff. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
I was just saying, you've previously explained that the different types of food, because you just mentioned perishable food, right? So maybe, I think you previously mentioned if you just eat like chocolate bars and cans of Coke, your character will actually perform differently to if they're eating food and meat and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is the cool bandana. That's right. So we've got a bunch of bandanas in game. I really like those.
One something I think a lot of people will be looking forward to is when you do have the kind of big squads of friends that go around together, they can actually make kind of an unofficial uniform, like we're the guys that wear green hoodies and a bandana, we're the guys that wear a leather jacket and, you know, shades. It's going to be kind of interesting. You'll be able to kind of represent your communities by wearing certain types of clothes.
Exactly. Oh crap. Oh crap. It's real hard to use melee weapons inside at the moment because you keep whacking them into the side.
That just shows how good the raycasting is.
And I think they're stuck. Yeah, the raycasting's good, but we need to come up with all the different interrupting animations and stuff like that. I think the server's under a pretty heavy load at the moment. That's what I mean, you fix one bug and you create like 8 in the process. The only thing we're waiting for now is just the server performance. But it doesn't mean we don't stop working on other stuff. This has all been looted. You know what? Whoa. You know what? I know you will be sad about. I haven't got a ghillie done yet, but I am. I talked to one of the artists yesterday, so I'm going to see if I can get a ghillie done. We'll probably have to do it as a one whole clothing item that will just go over top of your other clothing items. Probably it'll be a vest actually. It'll count. You won't know, but basically when you put it on, we'll just have it cover all your clothing items, so you can actually wear stuff underneath.
Well, that might introduce kind of a balance, I guess, because you could then limit the amount of magazine slots or inventory slots that the ghillie suit has. So as a cost of being very stealthy, you can't have 15 magazines in all your different pockets.
Yeah, exactly. He's pretty clean cut for the apocalypse, that guy.
He takes pride in his appearance. Is the motorbike helmet still in? And is it still planned to reduce, like, brunt force damage?
You know, the motorbike is spawning all the time at the moment. It's really annoying. It's like so many motorbikes in the game, but no, motorbike helmets, but no motorbikes. These guys are quite tooled up. We've got to adjust all the spawning tables quite substantially. I'm just going to ask these guys, have any of you guys got any attachments? I don't know what more there is to show, really.
A lot of people are asking about vehicles. I imagine that's kind of a further down the line feature.
Yeah, it's coming in the... Oh, wait. Have you got a bipod, Quantum? Oh, teasing me. Vehicles, look, there's a really ambitious roadmap we've got. Like, really, really ambitious. And that's definitely high on the list. One of the big ones is animals, which actually I think is going to make it in time for the alpha release. So animals, hunting, bows, crossbows, vehicles, construction. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's a lot of stuff we've got planned in there. A lot of it depends on how we go with the alpha release.
Can you show us the video settings that you're going to have again? Maybe just whether or not you can update your up your brightness at all. Some people are saying that they'd like to see if it goes brighter.
That's the brightness there. It's a little bit washed out at the moment because my character's a bit hungry, I think.
Ah, okay.
That's that. Then there's Gamma as well. Just doesn't appear to be doing anything. Nice. Alpha. Yay. VSync. Why do I even have VSync on? Shouldn't I have that off? Probably improved my frame rate drastically there. Not sure why I had that on. Is this answering people's questions or what they're seeing?
Yeah, I think it helps to be able to see all the different settings that you can have and everything. It definitely helps.
Someone just asked an interesting question that I've seen asked a range of
sorry.
times.
1 sec. I'm going to interrupt Chris. Can you just let me know if you have a field of view slider at all, or if you're going to be putting one in?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll demo that off now. I got to remember where
Thanks.
that is.
Sorry, scumbag me. Go ahead, Chris.
Here we go. Oh god, that guy needs to bandage. Hey, Asian dude in the red t-shirt, you need to bandage, man. Rip your t-shirt up. You have to take it off first.
I think there'll be a lot of that in live streams across Twitch. There'll be, hey, black dude in the red shirt, go to the Asian dude with the green shirt and bandage him. A lot of kind of referring to people by how they look. That already happens a lot.
Wait, hold on. Did you say rip your t-shirt up to make a bandage?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, I must have missed that, but that's amazing. You obviously that's an inspiration from Project Zomboid, right?
Inspiration's one word for it, the other word is stealing. No, look, I love the Project Zomboid guys. I love their game, and they've been really awesome. So I talked to them about a lot of stuff and said, look, your guys' game's great. Like I say, encourage everybody to go out and check Project Zomboid out. It's on Steam Early Access. You can even try the demo. I don't think they should provide the demo because I think everyone should just buy it.
Yeah, take the plunge.
Yeah. It is honestly one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
It is, but we need to have little sort of emoticons that tell you where you're at. We need to have that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can see the rags here, and rags are piles. So there's a lot of stuff that you can. Rags 1 rounds remaining. I should probably change that word rounds or put it in the config or something. It's not working yet, but you can eat rotten food and it can maybe make you sick. So just about everything in the game can be picked up. You see that guy there's got a hammer. That guy there's got a mask on. Some people might recognize that mask. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Another very, very cool game that we have played.
Oh, no way, you've got the... what's that, the weeping face from Payday?
Yeah, so we love that. I love Payday 2 as well. Huge, huge inspiration. I'd encourage everybody to go check that out as well. There's the DLC. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. David Goldfarb, you guys know him as well, right? You've talked to him on Twitter.
Awesome.
He is amazing.
Such
a good example. And he's just been so supportive of our project as well. I gave him a couple of keys. Haven't had a chance to actually play with him yet, but yeah, it's something huge. I like they're giving me the bird. I love this as well, the pipe wrench. Quite a good weapon in the game, but it doesn't have the reach. But a much higher durability than, say, the baseball bat.
Can you demo for us any crafting right now, or the interiors of any nearby buildings? Like perhaps if there's a high-rise around?
No, I don't know whether it is a high-rise. I'll just ask. Oh, I may as well say it. Anywhere good we can run, guys? Anyone got any suggestion for an area we can show off?
I like that tooltip. You no longer feel full of water.
Yeah, that's but some of the guys, the designers we've got working, aren't lead the way, Quantum. Which one are you, Quantum? Sorry, what did you ask, Chris? Okay, lead the way, Quantum.
I was just pointing out the emoticon, the kind of text feedback for you are no longer full of water.
Oh yeah, so our designers, obviously their English isn't super good. That whole thing needs to go. I'm going to follow the guy with no pants and axe. Okay, Quantum, I'll give you a compass.
Someone just asked, and I've not caught up with you on this recently, but it's something we've spoken about in length previously. Do the in-game radios support transmissions such as internet radio?
Yes, they do. In fact, that's the only thing they support.
I don't know. I thought you gave a really good demo of it at Res when you put it down and you ran away from it, and you could hear the audio fading in and out. I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah,
definitely. Look, there's a lot of stuff that's just plain old unfinished. Just like totally plain old unfinished. And we're just going to have to be really honest with people when the alpha starts, that's the case. Yeah, we've got a few people on the server now. At least it hasn't crashed. Immortal last words. I can't wait till we blow up in this, Chris. It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome, absolutely. I'm sure you'll be hog tying people like DayZ in no time.
Oh god, and then giggling like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh, some desync there. I think we got a lot of. I think the poor server is under a bit of strain. We haven't checked in our big optimizations yet, so that's one of the big things we need to do before we release the alpha to handle a lot of players.
Okay, you know how infection is something that you're really pushing to be a big part of Standalone. Are you able to, like, I know that you come across items that are infected in the game, in the world, but are you able to actually infect items yourself actively? So, for example, if you ripped up a shirt and made bandages, could you infect the bandages, and then maybe when you're bandaging someone, you're sort of actually hurting them, not helping them, but it seems like you're helping them?
Exactly. That's exactly
Really?
right. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh god, I've lost
the
the
bike
guys.
man
I'm gonna
approach,
nerd
we'll
out
call it.
now.
Where'd you guys go? I shouldn't have stopped. I was wanting to check out my inventory. Uh-oh! I think server crash. No, not server crash. That's weird. I'm going to restart the server anyway. Oh no. No, it's alright. It's not crash. Where'd you guys go to? And I don't have a compass.
One thing I noticed when you used a bandage earlier, and you kind of had your inventory screen over the top of it, so I'm sure some people missed it. You actually have a full animation now where your character puts their arm out and wraps the bandage around them and kind of dabs at their arm and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really nice touch.
So see, we're putting in special animations for every item and stuff like that. So you see, when this comes through, you'll see that I've got a kitchen knife and I'm stabbing with it. And the same occurs with I think we're pretty close to the Northern Airfield. I don't know where these guys are. I lost them.
One thing I've not seen you do is a mouse wheel down context menu, Armor 2 style. So say your buddy's next to you, he's bleeding, you have a bandage, he doesn't. How do you interact with him to do the bandage?
You just look at him. Yeah, you just look at him, and it'll say bandage, their name and stuff like that. I'm gonna fire around and probably wasted a whole bunch of rounds there.
Will the game inherently
Did you hear that?
support?
Sorry, go ahead.
Will the game support track IR? Someone's asking.
Yep, already does.
I'm sure people are curious to know about Rift.
Well, as you know, I love the Rift.
Yep.
But you got to get 50 frames. Okay, Smash, I'm on my way.
Someone asked if you can throw knives.
No. So we need to deal with physics. That's one of the reasons we put in bullet. The bullet physics is because we want to be able to do all this stuff. But it's a multiplayer game, you know. If this was a single player game, we would have been out a year ago and it would have a whole bunch of stuff. But it's not. And one of the reasons that everybody likes DayZ is because it's a multiplayer
Exclusively
experience.
multiplayer.
Yeah. Just you can't drink while you're running at the moment.
Will there be weapon maintenance added at any point?
Yeah, so a lot of things. One of the things I want to do with the rags is have it so that you can use the rags to patch your clothes and stuff like that. But I just haven't got there yet.
Right, yeah. Is that going to be something that you work on after alpha release, or?
Yeah, we're just so focused on the performance stuff now. Like, it's just so critical.
How is the performance and like netcode and everything going?
Well, I mean, it's not too bad. Hey, is the stream running okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
great.
perfect. It's getting better. It's getting way better. I just found those guys. Yo. Oh god, that guy's stuck in the animation. So where this is a bug here, you can see where the characters get stuck in an animation. It's caused by the network bubble. Guys, I'm just going to disconnect and reconnect, okay? So don't run anywhere.
You recently tweeted out a picture trying to convey the importance of the network bubble, where the whole map was blue, and it was like everything that Arma 3 considers is blue, and then there's a little red circle in the corner that says, this is my engine, this is what we consider around the player. I think a lot of people couldn't quite grasp what you were trying to explain in that picture, and considering I think I have a pretty good understanding of it, and I think it's going to be an incredible step forward for the engine and for a game of this nature. Do you want to take a moment to explain to everyone what it means and how important it's going to be going forward?
Oh yeah, like I think it's going to be hugely important. Just like critically. Yeah. I mean, what did you sort of specifically mean? Like.
So I think a lot of people saw that picture and they didn't quite grasp what you meant.
Oh, in terms of the bubble on that. Actually,
the bubble, yeah.
I had prepared quite a good dev blog to explain that. Yeah, look, it's huge. It presents a really massive opportunity for us. Really significant. I mean, it allows us to have... Oh, someone must have killed my freaking character. Or I died. Oh, that sucks. I'm back at the start, guys. And people wonder why we're not out yet. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is why. You too could lose your character. Oh, I know why! I'm such an idiot! I left my script in that kills my character when I disconnect.
Schoolboy error.
Oh, no! Why did I do that? Oh, oh well.
Someone else asked about the zombie AI and zombies in general. Will zombies all have kind of a flat health, or will they have different levels of health? And will there be locational damage on them? For example, if you hit them from behind over the head with a hammer, it's practically a one-shot, whereas if you bash them in the arms for a bit, it won't hurt them at all.
Exactly. I mean, that's in there at the moment. At the moment, you I'll just tell these guys I'll run to you. Yeah, at the moment, if you hit them in the head, it does a lot more damage than if you, you know, just hit them in the normal spot.
Because I think a lot of people want to bring DayZ, because I think initially there was an interesting curve in classic DayZ. So when you play it for the first time, you don't want to find any people. It's hard enough staying alive, and you're sneaking around and you're bleeding, you've got a blurry screen, everything's black and white, and you kind of feel completely intimidated by the zombies. After a week or so of playing, you can kind of work out, oh okay, if I do A, B and C, the zombies are almost nothing in the game anymore, now I can go and kill players. Well, I think people want to bring back in that feeling of, when you bump into a player, they're another threat on top of the zombies, as opposed to the zombies just being kind of an irritation.
Yeah, look, honestly, I think the zombies need a huge amount of work in that regard. It's the thing is, you fix the bugs and you remove some of the difficulty. Now, I'm not saying the game should be difficult because of bugs, but, you know, we need to put something back in there. I think what I'm going to do is a lot of what Project Zomboid kind of has, which is, one of the suggestions was, if the zombies hit you, they're just about always going to cause... bleeding damage. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that there's a chance that they can cause you to get some kind of infection, like a tetanus or something like that.
Right. So if you're in a kind of a built-up area and you see a guy running across a field, you would actually think twice about shooting him because there's some zombies nearby, and if one of them smacks you as you brush past, all of a sudden you've got to go and find some antibiotics or a saline drip or something else. There's a lot more, risk in brushing through zombies, whereas at the moment you can just run past them. Oh, I'm bleeding, I'll run in this room, bandage, and off you go. No kind of long-term threat.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like Shannon was saying about the way she plays Project Zomboid. She's really careful, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of what we want to have for DayZ, is that people are actually careful about dealing with the zombies. This one over there, hopefully it's glitched. It's stuck, looks like it's stuck on a fence. Razor said keep the sun on your right. I'm really just running around. We can run around, answer a few questions, and then I reckon we should go play some CK2 or something. If you're down for it, Shannon.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you able to show in like an interior of a few buildings or something maybe then, if you're looking to sort of wind down?
Yeah. You know what? I should really, if everyone can just bear with me on the stream, I am going to figure out the location of the apartment buildings near Cherno. To do that, I have
you're going to do the coordinate teleport.
Yeah. So, where are we? I'll just.
Can you do the slow-mo on this build? Remember the slow-mo you showed us? Or is it going to slow everyone down?
No, I can't. You can. That's the thing. When you're connected to the server like this, you can't use anything because the commands are entirely removed. They're not even the executable. So that really drastically reduces the scripting. So I can't. I can't even do anything.
Well, that's kind of a good demonstration, really. You're here live streaming the game, and in the current build, even though you want to, you can't figure out a way to teleport yourself around easily. And one of the, obviously, the most poignant problems we had in DayZ is that duping and hacking and scripting became really prevalent. And you've really let that down, right? So, as I understand it, your client is basically just a dumb client that is told by the server where you are and what you're doing based on your key inputs. It doesn't actually tell the server, hey, I have this gun. It says, what do I have? And the server says, you have this gun.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just asking Brian for the cohorts for the Cherno apartments. Because of the way the game works, I can't run more than one version of it at a time. So I'll ask Brian and hopefully he'll tell me. We've got another new compass in game as well. It's not on the spawn table yet though. Guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Brian to give me the cohorts and I'll teleport us all to, when I restart the server, I'll get it to, well, to spawn it through at the at Cherno. Now I'm going
so a few people, since I started talking, a few people about scripts and stuff, a few people have said, I really hope the Standalone doesn't have that kind of problem. Do you want to kind of recap over the fact that the client is basically a dumb client told by the server what's going on, whereas Arma 2 was from the ground up built to be the opposite and built to be kind of client controlled?
Yeah, look, one thing I'd like to say while people are seeing it, if everyone looks at the compass that's in Quantum's hand, see how it's moving, but actually what is kind of bad is it's actually orientated with the player's head. There's a reason for that and we want to change it, but I just thought it was a real cool little thing, like all the animations are specifically targeted. Sir, what was your question again?
So I was just saying, since I mentioned the fact that you can't teleport yourself in this build, or very easily teleport yourself, that shows that this is much more script and hacker resilient. And a few people have actually said, I really hope this game doesn't have hacks because that's what drove me away from DayZ. So I just want to quickly run over the fact that this is going to be much more resilient to those kind of easy scripts.
Yeah, look, I think there's always going to be hacks to games, and what we tried to do was to limit the impact of them and make them, you know, not as terrible really, and lower the impact. So the impacts for them are going to be a lot more local than they were previously, and I think that's quite important. I think the server's struggling.
What item is that guy holding?
Blood bag, I think. Oh no, he was trying to handcuff me, I think.
Oh, is the hog tying in the game now?
It is, but we need to fix it because we've had all these locality changes, and we need to tidy it up. That's what I mean. This is why the alpha's not out. All this kind of little stuff. Someone put a gas canister on the ground. What a waste. Oh yeah, you can actually walk around while you're handcuffed now.
I remember asking you that once, and you said at the time I asked you the current build, when you're handcuffed, you're stationary, and I said it would be funny if you could kind of get up and scrabble away with your hands tied behind your back, and maybe break free if it takes like 2 minutes to do the animation or something. So you've added the ability for people to actually try and run away while handcuffed.
Yep, so here we go. So you can see they're walking away. You can move around. It's quite limited what you can do, but at least so you can handcuff people. You can see there's some problems there. I think she might have broken free. But there's a lot of problems we have with it that need to be fixed. Anyway, I think we should take a couple more questions and then call it. It's just going to be too much of a pain in the backside for me to... Next time I do a video or a stream or something like that, we'll show off something more.
Yeah, and maybe we'll even, if you could tweet out like a couple of hours before you start so that people can, you know, get all prepared and stuff.
And
their body's ready.
And because you guys gave up your time to do this as well, you should probably be able to pitch yourself. So this is Sacriel, who's one of my friends. He's a big DayZ streamer. And I don't know how the technology works, but presumably they can find you on Twitch or something. And Shannon Z Killer as well. Oh, they find your usernames, right? In the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, they can.
And I don't know where Bikeman is, but we didn't get Bikey, but
he's in there somewhere. I saw his emoticons.
I'll post his Twitch.
Yeah, I'll post his Twitch too. And everybody else, all the streamers. I don't want to play favorites or anything. It's just this happened accidentally. Oops, I was trying to do Twitch and it was on. At least Twitch didn't ban me. That's cool.
That was nice of them.
So it looks like some people are wondering why the axe is positioned weird when you're holding it. I think it looks like
it's lefty. Yeah. That's because good point. That's because oh, brutal. You heard the supersonic crack there. Well, oh yeah, the lefty axe. So the lefty axe is because we need to do some work on the animation engine. It was only ever designed for holding rifles. That's real loud. That's really loud. And yeah, so basically once we've tidied up the animation engine, we'll be able to do that other stuff. And I think that's probably a good time to...
We'll call it?
Call it.
Well, I actually really like this idea. I know you were saying last week when we were playing Crusader Kings that you actually wanted to just turn on your stream and stream standalone, but that you were concerned about how Twitch works. Maybe, you know, we can get you to do this again really soon.
I think so. Maybe a bit more planned this time.
Yeah.
Well, it worked, and you know what? The server didn't crash. Nearly did, but it didn't crash, so that's a good start. So thank you everyone for watching.
No, thank you for...
And buy Project Zomboid, buy Payday 2, and other stuff.
Indeed, especially Project Zomboid, so good.
Yeah, it is damn good.
If you're aching for standalone, you've got to get some Project Zomboid going.
Exactly. I have a 30-day surviving character, and I just planted crops.
You feel so proud that you've done that, right? That's so amazing about that game. You feel so proud that you've done something simple like that.
I think Project Zomboid was the first game I've ever been truly proud to make a cup of tea. Actually, I finally made a tea, and I was just so happy. I then got like bum rushed by like 600 zombies, and they beat me to death. But I had a cup of tea, so that's all that mattered.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we'll leave you to
thanks
say
everyone
goodnight.
for tuning in.
Yeah, and we're going to go play some CK2.
Damn right.
So my character's gone! They're dead! Oh! It's just if anyone didn't see the character creation screen, they can see it now. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,